My three tips if you are looking for a unit that says refurbished, a desktop, a laptop, whatever the brand, the size is. The most important part is to make sure the seller is using a quality hard drive. Why? Because these units actually come from companies, could be any kind of companies, right? From a hospital to an engineering. So the companies will just sell all their computers every few years and purchase new units. And the old units, they send them to eBay sellers, resellers. But before sending them, they actually remove the hard drives because there is sensitive information. So usually eBay sellers get these used units, but without a hard drive. And what they do then before listing them, the eBay seller will purchase a new hard drive, and that's where the problem is. Because if they are using SSD drive, they may purchase a cheap brand, or even Amazon is selling a lot of fakes, fake Samsung, fake SanDisk SSDs. So the eBay seller might put actually either a fake or a cheap SSD. And when that SSD is going to fail on you, you are going to lose everything on your computer and may not even be recoverable. So you lose all your data, all your documents. This is really the most important part. And oftentimes the sellers will not tell you what's the brand of the SSD drive. I'm saying SSD because most of the sellers are putting SSD, but some of them will also offer the option to use a real hard drive, the ones that spin inside. These oftentimes are safe, are good quality. It's really the SSD that is the problem. So if you cannot really get the seller to tell you or send a picture what brand is, and if you are not, I don't know, it's a guess, right? Especially because they try to cut the costs. So they are going to buy the cheapest thing and may even buy fake ones from Amazon. They buy large stock of SSDs and mount them into these refurbished desktops. There is another way, perhaps more safe, is to buy a desktop or a laptop that says on the listing no operating system, which means it does not have a hard drive or an SSD drive. It's the complete computer. It's only missing this component, and it's not difficult actually. Basically, you can go to any store and buy a quality SSD brand, and I'll put in a comment section, you need a working computer, maybe a friend or something like this, to create a bootable SSD, bootable Windows drive, and simply install the new SSD in your computer, use the bootable stick memory, whatever it is, and install Windows 10 for free in your computer. And this is not difficult to do, perhaps not for someone who doesn't know anything about internet, but it's doable. Windows 10, it's free. I do recommend Windows 10 over Windows 11, which some people say they have problems using it. And it's easy to buy a new SSD or a new hard drive, install Windows 10 by yourself at home if you have another working computer. It costs zero money except for the SSD part. And oftentimes the SSDs are the size 2.5 inches. It's the same thing for the hard drive. It's the same connection most of the computers use. You just unplug it and replace it. So perhaps the best thing is to buy a refurbished desktop, laptop without a hard drive and install your own quality hard drive yourself. And it's going to be cheaper when you buy it without hard drive in there. The second thing is that because these are units that has been working for a few years, the fan can be noisy. So they have a cooling fan or more cooling fans, one in the power unit perhaps. It's going to be noisy. And the third thing is that you want to make sure the listing has a Wi-Fi card in it to connect to your modem by wireless. And just make sure the listing says Wi-Fi card. If it doesn't say, ask the seller. And also it's important, if you have a small form unit like this is a tiny Lenovo, I think, even if it has Wi-Fi card, it has to have external antenna. Actually, two of them, it's even better. So make sure the listing it's telling that. And I want you just to point one last thing about the Wi-Fi cards. older Wi-Fi cards, because these are going to be older units, may work on 2.4 gigahertz connection, and that connection is very sensitive. If you have like a kitchen in your home or something like this, or a neighbor or something like this, it may very easily drop the connection, and it's actually the Wi-Fi card that's the problem. And I do have a video that shows how to force a Wi-Fi card to switch from 2.4 to the 5.0 gigahertz connection. All of them do this, so I put a video in the comment section. So just maybe make sure when you get one of these units, refurbished units, you force the Wi-Fi card to switch to the 5.0 gigahertz connection, and that's a very, very stable connection, no drops, no nothing like this. And I also put in the comment section, if you want, a video showing how to create a USB, bootable USB stick like this to install Windows 10. Basically, you do create one of these with any working computer if you're in your home or a friend's or something like this, and then you can install it with this same unit on any amount of desktops or laptops, any amount of new SSD or hard drives with Windows 10 for free. So once you do one of these, you can do installing Windows 10 for your friends, for your family, forever, basically for free. Okay, so these are my tips. Be careful with the SSD drive. Also, see, some sellers even sell what they call bare bones units. Bare bones, it means it does not have anything inside. So do not touch those things. Those are kind of just the chassis. Only look for something that says no operating system. That means it has everything except the hard drive. Or get a hard drive from the seller, but know that that can be risky. And make sure once you get it at home, you open it and make sure it's a quality brand. I'll also put a link how to check the if the hard SSD drive is genuine. There is a I think it's a free software from internet that just connects to your computer and tells you if it's a genuine unit, Samsung, whatever you find, SanDisk in there. And if it's not genuine, then perhaps you want to throw it away and buy a new quality SSD drive and replace it. Thanks for watching.